Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't he look glum? It looks glum. But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president. And I actually said, do you mind if I do that? And he said, no, you got to do what you got to do. He's a pro. He's a professional.
Man, Trump, he gonna tell you like it is, straight to your face. Telling Chuck Schumer, if Kamala loses, your party's so woke that you can still have a shot at becoming the first one. Trump is a comedian, man. Like, he's always been a comedian. This was them at the Al Smith dinner, which is apparently a dinner that's been happening since 1928, from Alfred E. Smith, who was the first Catholic mayor party president nominee. 1928 that was, and this dinner became somewhat of a notable event where presidential candidates from both parties traditionally come to share lighthearted jests, showcasing a lot of side of politics and ability to get along, even if momentarily. And your girl didn't show up. Kamala, she was doing this.
Cool. Sorry.
Hey, what's going on? Who was that?
Oh, sorry, Mary Catherine Gallagher. Mary Catherine Gallagher. It's so nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Mary Catherine. Right now, I'm trying to record my speech for tonight's dinner.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just want to say that I'm Catholic, and tonight is one of the biggest dinners next to the Last Supper.
It is a very important dinner, and it's an important tradition that I'm so proud to be a part of.
Sometimes when I get nervous, I stick my fingers under my arms and I simmer them like that. But that's gross.
So tell me something. I'm giving a speech. Do you have some thoughts about what I might say tonight?
My feelings about what you should say tonight would be best expressed in a monologue from one of my favorite made-for-TV series.
Okay, let's hear it.
Don't you see, man? We need a woman to represent us. A woman brings more heart, more compassion. And think how smart she must be to become a top contender in a field dominated by men. It's time for a woman, bro. And with this woman, we can fly.
What series was that from?
Oh, that's from House of Dragons, now streaming on HBO Max.
Is there anything that you think that maybe I shouldn't bring up tonight?
Well, don't lie. Thou shalt not bear false witness to thy neighbor.
Indeed, especially thy neighbor's election results.
Just so you know, there will be a fact checker there tonight.
Oh, that's great. Who?
Jesus. And maybe don't say anything negative about Catholics.
I would never do that, no matter where I was. That would be like criticizing Detroit in Detroit.
Does it bother you that that Trump guy insults you all the time? Because it really bothers my friends and me.
Oh, Mary Catherine, it's very important to always remember you should never let anyone tell you who you are. You tell them who you are.
Haters gonna hate. Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Good for you, Mary Catherine.
Oh, yeah, okay. And also remember one more thing. Don't worry if you make a mistake, because Catholic people are very forgiving. Yeah, and also one last thing I want to tell you. Don't forget to say, superstar!
Thank you, Mary Catherine.
Thank you, Kamala.
Thank you. Your Eminence and distinguished guests, the Al Smith dinner provides a rare opportunity to set aside partisanship and come together to do some good.
Oh my gosh, I had to cut that off, man. A couple things already. First of all, they pretty much saying that they're trying to associate Trump with the devil. They're trying to do this unconsciously. They're trying to do it under the radar, real smooth, to where it ain't like just super noticeable. But just saying, don't insult Catholics and all this other stuff. And then, God. I'm over here like, man. So they trying to make Trump anti-God, which is weird to me. Then she goes, you tell people who you are. Don't let them tell you who you are. Quite literally, that's what you've been doing. Literally. Like, we could tell you black, and we could tell you Indian, but you know what I'm saying? You telling us, no, I'm black. So we like, yeah, we get that. You know what I'm saying, man? I really don't like this awkwardness and all these weird, hardcore. It's just weird. Let me read some comments. It's Molly Shannon. This was a bit she did on SNL. I guess we lost her to the Dems too. Wasn't funny in 1999 either. Somebody said maybe she doesn't want Catholic views. I guess not. She even skipped that dinner event tonight to put out this instead. Says a lot. So the sentiment now is that there's something centered around some sort of issue, you know, some sort of gap being, you know, bridged between Kamala Harris and Catholics and things of that nature. I don't really know too much outside of what we're seeing right here and the awkwardness behind this message. Somebody said that's how I saw it too. Kamala is the stereotype of an empty puppet. She's in no position of making fun of people. Wow, man, y'all are going and whoa. Wow. Now, Trump definitely at the Al Smith dinner had to say something.
I don't think Kamala has given up yet. She hasn't. Instead of attending tonight, she's in Michigan receiving communion from Gretchen Whitmer. That's not a pretty sight. But Catholics, please don't be too insulted by Kamala's absence. If the Democrats, thank you very much, I appreciate it.
And Trump was definitely in his bag. Before I even say that, before I even get to the next clip, I got to say this though. Why wasn't she there? I think because her and her team knows that her Donald Trump being under the same roof would lead to a possibility of Trump saying something that she would may get baited back into responding to. And, you know, if she don't have no teleprompter available or the questions beforehand, she don't, you know, disrespectful to the church, but hey, she did what she had to do. She had to do what's best for her, right? But Trump, like I said, was in his bag last night, and he was just dunking on Kamala and the Democrats all night, according to Warclaw Baudestein. I'm probably saying, I know I'm saying your name wrong. Anyhow, quote, there's a group called White Dudes for Harris, but I'm not worried about them at all because their wives, I'm gonna just let him finish the joke. But he's the GOAT.
There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Does anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris? Doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. Every one of those people is voting for me.
He even had this to say about Tim Walz. Hold on, let me make sure I rewind it for you.
I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz.
Trump's speech was around 30 minutes, I think like 28 minutes long in total. Exceptional speech, man. New York City Al Smith dinner last night. But I want y'all to see this clip, man. Y'all can see the humorous side. I will always stand by this statement. Trump could be a comedian. I don't care what nobody say. If he decided not to run for the presidency, he could actually be on the stage with a microphone and be hilarious. Check this out.
Get that? They give you one, but not me. How about that one? Huh? Come here. Yeah, and you did a good job. Tradition holds that I'm supposed to tell a few self-deprecating jokes this evening. So here it goes. Nope, I've got nothing. I've got nothing. There's nothing to say. I guess I just don't see the point of taking shots at myself when other people have been shooting at me for a hell of a long time and they shoot at. You know, they say about presidents, they say that Andrew Jackson was the president that was the most meanly treated. His wife died. She died of heartache. She was heartbroken at the way they treated him. And they say that second was Abraham Lincoln, but he was in charge of a civil war, you know. So, but those were the two, Andrew Jackson. Up until me, now they say it's not even close. There's never been a president that's been treated so badly as me, and our people aren't happy about it. But I was treated a little bit rough. But I don't mind it.
Now, I know Trump was the star of the show last night, but I think we may have just identified the real reason why Kamala Harris didn't show up. Jim Gaffigan, I'm sorry. I'm probably saying his name wrong. Gaffigan? Could be. Jim just called out the coup that happened against Biden. Make sure everybody sees this because this is why she didn't show up last night.
You know, this has been an interesting presidential campaign. The Democrats have been telling us Trump's reelection is a threat to democracy. In fact, they were so concerned of this threat, they staged a coup, ousted their democratically elected incumbent, and installed Kamala Harris. In other words, all her dreams have come true.
Last night, also outside of the town hall, you had Elon Musk campaigning on Donald Trump's behalf, saying this would be the last election if Kamala Harris wins because she will proceed to legalize some things that we don't want to be legalized. Check this out.
I think if there's 4 more years of sort of the Kamala sort of puppet regime, they're actually going to legalize so many illegals in the swing states that there won't be swing states anymore. And this will be the last election in that case. And will be a permanent one-party state like California. And you know, in California, they recently, California, which is mind-blowing, they passed a law banning voter ID for any election in California whatsoever. Now they're going to try to do that nationwide. In fact, if they can, they will do it nationwide. If the Dems win, they'll ban voter ID nationwide. So that's why I think if Trump doesn't win, this is the last election.
You know what, Elon? I'm gonna end this video by saying I totally agree. I'm personally, this is speaking from the heart. This ain't nothing online. I personally can't do it. You know, I'm not gonna move to another country or nothing like that. I'm not gonna start that, but man, just knowing what's at risk, knowing what's at stake. A lot of times, if I'm being completely honest, I genuinely wish I don't know as much as I do know. And there's a whole lot that I don't know. Trust me, you can watch my videos and clearly see that I'm not politically inclined. You know, I'm taking in a lot of information, sure, on a regular basis, and I'm learning little by little. You know, I have my own personal issues, you know, mentally and things of that nature. But outside of that, you know, I'm putting the pieces together as much as I can. And that's why I feel like I am. I'm the gap between the people who understand the politics completely and the people who just, you know, don't understand whatsoever. I feel like I'm right in the middle. Somebody who's not either one of those, but, you know, in between trying to head towards being educated in that sense. But saying all this to say, knowing what I know, man, and Kamala Harris getting back in that office, I cannot do it. He is 100% correct. And this is why I take the time to talk to my friends. I really do. I take the time to talk to them, and when they go, yeah, I don't know who's voting for this election, this, that, and the third. It's lesser two evils, and I'm not going to vote. I take that as a winning opportunity, not to necessarily convince them to vote for Trump and nothing like that, but to, hey, well, did you know this? Let me ask you a few questions. What's your, you know, stance on, you know, some topics like abortion? You know, we're talking about sexually explicit things in the school, law enforcement in schools. We're going to talk about taxes. We're going to talk about foreign policy. We're going to talk about the border. You know what I'm saying? It's so much that I would love to ask, and I love doing that just to go, hey man, you may be a little more on Trump's side than you know. And they go, no, I'm not. And I'm going, hey, I ain't trying to tell you to vote for him, nothing like that. I'm just saying, everything you support is what he, you know. Anyhow, I'm rambling, y'all. Pray for me. Going through some things in my life, and yeah, you guys, it is real. I'll just say this. I'm looking around in my studio, and I'm gonna miss it. I really am. I'm gonna miss this, man. We created a lot of memories here, Kingdom. We created a lot of memories here. And yeah. Until next time.